أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاسات العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Now Rohan will give the translation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the only God, creator and controller of all beings. The Rahman, beneficial, and Rahim, most merciful. Say, He is Allah, He is the One. Allah is perfect, eternal, and all depends on Him, while He reads and the Quran. He begets not and has not been begotten, neither give birth nor born. And no one has ever named nor like Him. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the only God, creator and controller of all beings, and the Rahman, beneficial, Rahim, merciful. Say, I take refuge of the Rabb, who creates the dawn, the day, refuge from the evils of all within death which He created, and from the evil of the darkness of night when its limit settles, and from the evil of those which craft and those who and from the evil of bad which when He is jealous. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah, the only God, creator and controller of all beings. The Rahman, beneficial, the Rahim, most merciful. I take refuge with the Rabb of mankind, the Sovereign, King, Ruler, and Controller of mankind. Allah of the mankind, Allah, the only God, from the evil of dreaming, whispers, temptation of the shaitan.
Thank you so much, both Badruddin and Rohan. Give them a hand for encouragement. Thank you, guys. All right, let me hear you. How's everybody doing? All right, let me try that again. How's everybody doing? Better. Last, one more try. How's everybody doing? All right, fantastic. All right, I'm going to kick us off with the land acknowledgement. So we begin today by acknowledging the traditional territories of the indigenous peoples and their commitment to stewardship of the land. We acknowledge the communities in Circle, the north, west, south, and eastern directions, and Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, Seneca, Chippewa, and the Mississaugas of the Credit peoples. We share the responsibility with the caretakers of this land to ensure the dish is never empty and to restore relationships that are based on peace, friendship, and trust. We are committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding. So greetings to all of you. My name is Ali Jatta. Thank you so much. Welcome to all of you to the most requested and anticipated event of the year. And frankly, it is your energy, it is your presence that keeps us coming back every year, year after year. And today is actually, this is the first time we've actually brought the event right here to Milken Park, and I'm glad we did. We've got beautiful weather and beautiful folks with us. So happy 78th Independence Day to all of you. And I want to also introduce my co-MC who will be supporting me with the duties, Brother Qasim Zahur. And as we begin, I do want to recognize some of the special folks and the dignitaries among us. I want to start just on my left, MP for Markham Union Rule, Mr. Michael Ma. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. The Deputy Mayor of Markham, Mr. Michael Chan. Thank you, Michael, for always joining us. Mr. Khalid Usman, former councillor. You all know him. And a proud Pakistani. And Mr. Tim Hodgson, the new MP for Markham Thornhill as well. And MPP Logan Kanapathy for Markham Thornhill. Thank you all joining us. And as some of you may know, it is election season, and in Ward 7, if you live in Ward 7 east of McCowan Road, we do have a by-election coming up on September the 26th, and we do have a couple of candidates with us as well. So I want to start with Arnie Muruganathan. I hope I said that correctly. And we also have Nimisha Patel right here, Ward 7 resident. Thank you to both of you for joining us as well. So as we begin, I do want to set the stage for today's program, so please allow me a few minutes to do that. Some of you may be coming in, saw a procession outside, or folks in here in the park. And while today is indeed a celebration of our beloved home country of Pakistan, I would be remiss not to acknowledge three very important points to underscore the context and the significance of today. First and foremost, this year, August 14th, happens to coincide with a day that is incredibly significant in the Islamic history. Known as Jihlam or Arabain, it marks 40 days on the Islamic calendar after the martyrdom of Hazrat Imam Hussein al-Islam, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who stood with his family for justice and truth in the face of tyranny at the Battle of Karbala in the year 680. And this day is a time of reflection for a lot of Muslims, all Muslims, time of mourning, as well as renewed commitment to those same values that he stood for. Secondly, today also marks 677 days since October 7th, 2023. The struggle for life, freedom, as well as justice continues in the Middle East, particularly in Palestine and Gaza, where unfortunately starvation continues to be used as a weapon, while much of the world continues to watch in silence. The United Nations actually today reported that there's 40,000 babies under the age of 1 who are currently suffering from man-made malnutrition. 238 journalists have been killed, including Anas al-Sharif, most recently on August the 10th, who in his last will wrote, "May God be a witness against those who remained silent and accepted our killing, and against those who choked our breath, and whose hearts were not moved by the scattered remains of our children and women, and who did nothing to stop the massacre of our people." And it is now clear why the great Nelson Mandela once rightly said that we know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. Thirdly, today marks 739 days, over 2 years, since former Prime Minister, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, has been unjustly imprisoned on politically motivated charges designed to silence dissent and destroy democracy. His struggle is indeed a struggle of all Pakistanis. We call on the government of Pakistan to release Imran Khan, and we call upon the government of Canada to use all of its diplomatic channels to advocate for his freedom, to stand firmly for human rights, and to uphold the democratic principles we all cherish right here in Canada. So it is with all of these things in mind that we gather here today to kindle a light in the struggle for justice and reflect on the spirit of independence, the vision of the founding fathers of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and the great philosopher and poet of the East, Allama Muhammad Iqbal. These events, of course, remind us that there is always a price to be paid for independence and freedom. We can only celebrate today, right here, because many before us indeed paid with their lives. So with this bittersweet context at play, I want to once again welcome all of you here today on behalf of CRC Markham. The tradition for this very event, in fact, began back in 2009 by our very own Mr. Khurshid Chishti, who's doing all the hard work. Mr. Khurshid Chishti right here. In his backyard, by an organization called Hamara Watan, or Our Country in English, with an objective to create memories, help shape the discourse on important topics, as well as instill awareness among youth about their Pakistani heritage, language, and culture. So thank you once again for being here. Our guests, the young, the old, the ladies, the men, our vendors, sponsors, and of course our volunteers, without whom none of this would be possible. So for your enjoyment, of course, we've got lots of snacks and refreshments. We've got raffle tickets, as we announced earlier, for various cool prizes that you can win. You can buy tickets at the back from Miss Paula. And shortly, we'll be rising for the national anthems. But before we do that, I'm going to call on my co-MC, Mr. Qasim Zahoor, to come and speak about some of the sponsors who are supporting us today, as well as the organization behind this event.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much everyone for coming out tonight. It is a pleasure to have all of you here to share this special day with the community. We're very thankful and happy with the fact that all of these vendors and sponsors that came in to put this event together. And while I do that, in recognizing these vendors and sponsors, I'm going to request all the CRC team to come up to the front. While I do this, I'm going to recognize some of the vendors that have sponsored us today. So we got